Old World Day. I hope that those of you who pre-ordered stuff have managed to get your hands on stuff. I know that there were some problems nationwide in that regard. Big thank you to the manager of my local store for helping me out and making sure that I got my hands on some of the lovely, jubbly Old World stuff. Michael and I are, you may have seen, we're in Michael's games room today because his games room is not full of mead in the same way that mine is. We are about to have our inaugural game of Warhammer the Old World. Literally, we've got the armies arrayed kind of either side of us, squared up on squared bases, ready to get some games in. So stay tuned for that because there will be more of that coming in a battle report in the very near future. But I first of all just want to say, whoa! It's the Orcs! Yes, we got the Orc, well, not pre-orders, we got the news that the Orcs are going to be the next army that is released. So, firstly, it means what I had suggested, we are not waiting, a year for each army to get their update. No, Orcs, literally, I'm assuming within, later on this quarter, so within, hopefully, Q1, we'll get the Orc release. We'll get the new Orky models, we'll get the re-release of a whole bunch of stuff, and I will end up being very, very, very poor. Just want to talk briefly, and I will try and keep it brief, about what the Orc re-release means for Warhammer the Old World. What have we learned from it, essentially? So, first things first, we are getting, as we expected, a whole bunch of existing kind of Orc plastics. That was kind of to be expected. The Black Orcs, as they were, had disappeared from the Age of Sigmar range, and will be reappearing, I'm assuming, in a lovely blue box in the very near future. But also things like Ball Boys. Yes, the Ball Boys are coming back. I've got a unit of 5 over there ready to go crashing into Michael's elves in a few minutes. But it looks as though they're getting re-released as a box of 10. So I'm going to end up with a unit of 15 Ball Boys. Hear that, lads? You do well today, you get reinforcements. They're releasing an Orc battalion set. So this is going to be different to these 2 box sets. Instead of it being a box with a whole army and the rules and templates and dice and the rulebook, it's going to be just kind of what we thought of as the old school battalion. So it's a big old wodge of boys, 2 boar chariots, and a whole bunch of common goblins. Yeah, none of those pesky hoodie-wearing night goblins there. Common or garden goblins. But also, we have seen that we are getting some new released characters. We're going to get a new Black Orc war boss, which I think is very cool because it was kind of a little underrepresented previously. They're re-releasing the Orc command box, so that's the one that comes with a commander on foot and commander or banner bearer on boar. So those are kind of more generic Orc war bosses. A Black Orc war boss on foot, therefore, is getting released, as well as a named character who presumably will be featuring in the Orc flavor pamphlet. Talking of flavour pamphlets, we got a hint as to what the 2 armies that are going to feature in the flavour pamphlet are. So the kind of thematic armies that ties into the narrative gaming video that I did last week. If you haven't watched that, go watch it after this. But in terms of themed armies, one of them it seems is going to be a nomadic kind of raiding Orc force. The other, a troll country force, yes! And in that vein, we have had confirmation that the beautiful, I say the word beautiful is perhaps not the right word for it, but the amazing Forge World Troll Hag model is getting re-released. I had the fortune to see one of these in the flesh, as it were, earlier last year when we were at my 5th edition event, and Gary from Arbiter Ian's Tale of 4 Gamers brought one along as his giant. Presumably, he'll now be able to use it as a Troll Hag when the Orc Flavour Pamphlet gets released. And I'm guessing that she'll be a character that gets her rules featured in the Orc Flavour Pamphlet, because she's not currently in the Ravening Hordes book. But also, there's more! We got confirmation that, as well as the 2 kind of new characters, a whole bunch of old character models are going to be released. The very, very nice classic Forge World resin character set. So that's an Orc war boss on foot and a Orc banner bearer with a banner that's made of kind of 2 huge dragon wings with Orc glyphs painted on them are getting re-released, as well as the 3, frankly, my favourite Night Goblin miniatures they ever made. The Night Goblin Lord, the Night Goblin Shaman who's kind of afloat on a cloud of green vapour, and a gorgeous Night Goblin big boss on giant cave squig. That's getting re-released as well. So that's loads of awesome stuff. Before we get into the thing that I think perhaps most excites me. So we knew we were getting a whole bunch of metals re-released, and we had confirmation it includes my favourite Goblin Wolf Chariot. Can't wait to use units of those. I'm going to try out the chariot runners rule today with some wolf riders and a boar chariot. But yeah, want to try some wolf chariots crashing through those as well. But we also got confirmation of a made-to-order that's going to happen at Games Workshop. I know I asked for this stuff, but I didn't. It's one of those things of you ask for something and then you get cursed by being given the thing that you asked for. So the made-to-order, at the very least, is going to include the 1993 Orc Shaman on Wyvern model that I think I first saw in a battle report that featured in the old Dwarf Army book from 4th edition. And it was that was kind of that versus a Dwarf Army. That's getting re-released as a made-to-order. But more than that, the thing that... the Marauder Giant! The classic hairy head, hairy beard, big club, finger knuckles wearing like armour guards, like elbow guards, as a glove. The Marauder Giant is coming back. The only thing that could have knocked my socks off more would have been if they'd released the original Citadel Giant. The Marauder Giant is getting a re-release. As is, it would seem, the classic kind of 6th edition Orc and Goblin Giant. So there's going to be, and the Resin Forge World Bone Grinder Giant. There are going to be giants everywhere. I mean, literally, I wonder if the Troll Country list will let you take giants as a special choice. And you can just have like a troll hag, a whole bunch of trolls, and giants. That would be so cool. Oh my god. With all that excitement, I mean, I almost kind of glossed past the fact that amongst the things just casually thrown into the list of stuff that's getting re-released in the metals is Orc Biggins. If this is the gorgeous early 90s or mid-90s Orc Biggins that I have coveted for years getting released as a unit, well, first of all, well, there goes my bank balance. But second of all, I'm almost kind of thrown a little bit because they're actually probably a little bit smaller than the plastic orcs, so they're biggins. They're just not as big as the rest of the orcs. I don't know. I can't be more excited. I mean, I love Orcs and Goblins. I'm about to use Orcs and Goblins. The army I'm about to use is what I've been kind of collecting in bits and pieces. I'm sad that it's not as painted as I would like it to be. But the thought that near months from now, more Orcs and Goblins reinforcements are going to be pouring onto the battlefield makes me a very, very happy man. I hope you've enjoyed the Old World release weekend. And if you haven't been able to get your hands on the stuff that you wanted to, fear not. Know that it is coming. And even if you didn't get your toys today, you are still going to get them soon. And you will, once you get diving into those books, I guarantee you will love them. They are gorgeous. Thank you very much for watching. I'm going to have to go and play a game of Warhammer the Old World. I can't believe I got to say that. Tune in to the battle report coming in the near future, and as ever, I will catch you next time. Bye for now.